Okay, it appears to be about that time. The meeting for the Port of Siuslaw Commission meeting for Wednesday, June 19th is called to order at 7 o'clock. First I'd like to introduce everybody at the table, just in case they've forgotten. John Buchanan, John Murphy,
Bob Forsyth,
Dina McClure,
Bob Thorpe, Bill Fleenor.
and I'm John Scott. I didn't know whether we were supposed to.
that's fine.
Just to get off on for the record, huh?
You gonna introduce the new commission?
Nope.
Nope.
You don't do that?
First of them.
First,
so they get sworn in first.
Okay.
Okay, the first item on the agenda is approval of the meeting, minutes for the meeting of the 15th of May.
I so move approval.
second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to thank Dina for her excellent job as usual. Not that I'm getting used to it, but thank you so much.
Mhm. We certainly all agree on that. There be no discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain. I wasn't
You're
here.
there. Okay. Minutes are approved. Next, we have any remarks from the citizens.
David Sweeney.
Good evening, gentlemen. Chief, it's great to see you here.
Thank you, sir.
I have nothing specific about what's on the agenda this evening. The only thing that I would like to say is that I know you guys have all worked really hard on the budget and the 5-year plan, the economic plan. And I appreciate that. But the only thing I can say is I think that if you guys feel strong in your positions here, you should just pass this over to the new commissioners and let them go through it and vote on it. They're the ones that have to live with it for 5 years. Okay, that's all I have to say on that. And-
We can't do the budget that way. We have to pass the budget.
Yeah.
Gotta be the
But,
state by July 1.
Secondly, what I'd like to say, I'd like to bring up briefly is about the day-to-day operation here at the marina. This past weekend, we had a boat come in, last week, came in from Newport. Was low on fuel and was getting beat up pretty good, and they were tired, so they came in and docked their boat, went through all the proper procedures, got the docking permit, everything. Went home to Newport and slept, came back to get their boat when they were informed that you can't buy fuel here anymore in the evening. They ended up having to walk to the fuel gas station with cans, buy diesel, come down here on the dock and pour diesel, which is illegal, into their boats, totally illegal, all because, I don't have my hearing aid, sorry, all because there was nobody available to pump fuel on the weekends. I think that should be looked at a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Operational issue, that's.
Anyone else?
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. Get into that later. Okay, financials. Bills for the month were $139,330.45. Do we have a motion to ratify the payment of the bills?
I'll move it.
Second.
Like comments?
Comments?
Yes, Mr. Manager, I see our net income as of May 31st is $101,685.19. Is that pretty accurate?
Yes.
So we can expect to see a fairly substantial bottom line toward the end of this year.
One would expect so.
And what I'm particularly anxious to see is that this money be used toward some sort of capital reserve or maintenance reserve that we hopefully will incorporate into some sort of a policy here soon.
Well, that's our plan.
Yeah, yeah.
We already have it in place as far as I know.
So I'm just giving you kudos for a job well done.
Thank you. We have a motion?
Yep.
Second?
Yep.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Next item, resolution number 61913A, to adopt a supplemental budget to reappropriate funds
End of the year. Clean up,
at the
is
end
it?
of the year.
Yep. Okay, I'll move resolution 6/1913A.
Second.
Any discussion on this?
No.
There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution passes. Okay. The next is the adoption of the resolution number 6/1913B, which is the budget for fiscal year 2013-14 as approved by the Port of Siuslaw Budget Committee.
So we have to open a public hearing.
Okay. The public hearing is now open at 7:07. Do we have any comment from the public?
No.
From any of the commission? There being none, we will close the public hearing at 7:08. Active group tonight, huh?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move resolution number 06/1913B, resolution adopting budget, making appropriations and levying taxes.
Do we have a second? Second. Okay, any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution passes, approving the budget for the coming year. Okay, we had a couple, under old business, we had a couple of minor changes on the Port of Siuslaw mission statement. Dina, you want to discuss that? Pretty.
I can read to you the previous mission statement. It basically, we just eliminated some of the words. The prior mission statement read, "The Port of Siuslaw delivers high-quality asset management and economic development services that result in measurable economic and community development benefits for communities throughout the Port District." So all we did was we removed some of the duplicating words there and
That's probably my
decided to
doing.
kind of slim it down to the Port of Siuslaw provides asset management and services that enhance economic and community development for the district. Same message, just a few less words.
What do we need to do?
We need to make a motion.
Just a motion.
I'll make a motion. It's gonna be in order.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that?
Mr. Chair, I really appreciate the revised mission statement in that the conciseness and the preciseness, I think, really indicates exactly what the port is trying to do. We want to be as precise as we can with respect to what we intend to do on an ongoing basis moving forward. So this mission statement, I believe, now reflects that, so I really appreciate that.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the next item is to adopt the final draft of the 2013 to 2018 Strategic Business Plan that was online, and the hard copies were available here. And basically, we went through it a couple weeks ago on the 30th. We had a meeting to go through this. I went through it the other night again, all 108 pages online. I only noticed a couple of things, one typo on the typo on the employees at the casino, and then there was one photo I think that should have been changed or removed. It was a photo of BJ's, and they probably wouldn't appreciate us showing their property as surplus land.
But I think that was the parking lot.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there was, I
Did
think,
you take
three.
a look at that, Susie? Picture number 21 on page 91.
No, because you told me that you thought it was that, so I did not look at it.
It's referred to as the parking lot, and
Alright.
it looks like the parking lot. It's
Pretty
the
hard to
building-
tell.
Yeah, well, no,
40,000 feet.
yeah, true, but the building is clearly next to where the
Okay.
little highlighted area
And
is.
that's a no-brainer. I was just looking at that and I thought, knowing Brian, he'd pick up on that and be after us. So, those are
But the other
only-
thing you noted was the casino employment, instead of 800 is 450. That needs to be changed. There was some,
Somehow that number got
table.
out and everybody at the casino was shaking their heads, no, that's not. And I talked to Sally once and she said it was 438 or 450. You're right, 450, in that range. Because we were sort of ranking the major employers
Yeah, right,
in the
exactly.
area. Okay, do we have a motion to
Start the discussion.
adopt?
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the draft of the new strategic business plan. Any discussion? Bill?
Mr. Chair and fellow commissioners, I would like to thank the staff, particularly Susie, for the tremendous amount of time and resources that they have committed to this. Like Mr. Scott, I've read this about 3 or 4 times. And after about the 3rd time, it gets to be rather old hat. I'm really happy with the direction we're going. I like the precision, as I said before. However, I'm having difficulty getting to yes at this point, and I need some help from the board. What I've found is not what is in there, but is what is not in there that is lacking. And what is lacking from my perspective is more of a focus or an emphasis upon the commercial fishing industry. We lightly touch upon it 1 or 2 times through the document. And I believe that it needs to be more prominent and it needs to have a higher priority. And with that in mind, I have produced a table that I would like to request that the board consider including under Section 7, Facilities and Business Plan, which basically really highlights the, Mr. Chair, if I,
Shouldn't this have been done at their
Yeah,
work session?
we should have been at a work session, Bill, on the 30th if you had some issues here.
well, Mr. Chair, obviously this plan has been revised multiple times since then.
Not really. Just a little
And
bit.
I am,
Some wordsmithing, but no major
Nothing at all.
substantive changes.
well, this is just an offer to help me get to yes. Because I feel that the commercial fishing interests need to be.
I have no problem with this at all. I would like it.
It's basically just adding a table
You
at
know,
the end,
You're,
section
you're,
7.
you're proposing that the board provide or operate onboard flash freezers?
Well,
Ooh, I
that
didn't
should be actually deleted there, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Basically, that wordage should be changed to investigate the feasibility of enhancing the commercial fishing operations. That would be the language.
and end it right there.
Yes, right there. I apologize, that was from a previous draft.
Onboard flash freezers.
No, that would not be in
That
there.
would be a real
That was my concern.
huge step backwards.
Did you capture the wordage there, Dina?
Yes.
That would be my proposal with the amendment. And I think that would really help me get to yes, and that table would really show to the community and to our commercial fishing fleet that we do have interest in helping in putting it as a number 1 priority versus a number 2 priority, which I found elsewhere in the document. And I would like to suggest that particular section be removed and this one replace that. And I think you know the one I'm referring to.
So we're gonna say, assess the feasibility of enhancing commercial fishing, is that?
Yes. And using some staff time to see if we can do that, perhaps even have a subcommittee appointed that can actually do some work to see whether there's
Bob,
any
what's your
feasibility.
thoughts? Are we saying anything really in that?
You're not saying anything that
isn't through the rest of the document. The only thing that Bill and I disagreed on was showing preference over that other, over some other objectives that we have in the long thing. That was the only difference that we had. with
Profit
that.
generating.
Profit generating stuff. So we don't have a disagreement with the substantive nature of what it is, just simply calling it out by itself is the only thing we disagree.
All I'm trying to do is just emphasize that this is an important part of
It's
our
a
role.
part, it's a part, and it's an important
And to
part.
have it buried within the document and not highlighted, I think is really a disservice to this particular industry that has really helped the port achieve its success to date.
You know, I don't have a problem with it, but getting it done tonight is my problem. It might,
We can still approve it with the,
Well,
with that
okay.
addition.
Sure.
And I would suggest that's what we do.
well, and I don't know, I'm thinking a little different, John. Many boards as I've been
You do
on-
think different.
Thank you,
I
John.
want-
You
I'm
know,
sure that's part of the.
I would like to see this commission make a recommendation to the next set of commissioners out of respect for them, that they get a chance to look at this document and put input into it also. I mean,
Well-
I feel that 9 sets of eyes is better than just 5.
There's another issue here too. And this document is used for financial purposes with the state.
Yep,
And they look at the whole document. And if we don't do it tonight,
we have to do it tonight.
we have to do it tonight. Let's just leave it at that. We have to do it tonight because that's what it needs to be. So I would say that, Dina, if you're okay with that language, you've got it.
I have the tape recorder going, so I will go back and make sure that I get the
Okay.
language
Good.
Now,
corrected.
other than that, we don't have any problem. We're going to adopt this strategic business plan with the changes noted for our discussions tonight. Okay? So we have a motion and a second. All those in agreement signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Thank you,
Thank you,
gentlemen.
John. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any new business? Any other items under old business? We're almost gonna beat us tonight, John.
I know. Give me heartburn.
Okay, new business, anything else? Any new issues?
I want to thank the commission for the indulgence in my absence for as many meetings.
Talked about you while you were
Oh, I'm
gone.
sure you did. I'm renting back all the tapes, so I can take note of
We
that.
didn't, we took a hiatus from that portion of the.
Oh, did you?
Alan edited it out.
Why don't you
Yeah,
bring that
well, I
up?
appreciate the good words I got from the commission, and I'm so happy to be back
We're happy to have you
and
back.
feeling good.
Yeah.
Well, and we missed you at Sally's dedication too. I think
Yeah,
that went
that's a
really
major
well.
part.
Yeah.
No, sir. Pictures down there, but
Sally was a real friend, and like I said in my statement, I couldn't admit that she wasn't going to be back, and I actually had to argue with her and her husband both about stay on, you're going to be fine. Oh, that didn't happen.
No, I think the family appreciated the efforts we went through to do that. And hopefully we'll have an ongoing relationship with the Wilbur family in the future.
Yes.
Okay, any reports, Mr. Manager?
Oh, we've got, you have a list of everything that we do on a monthly basis and what we've completed and what we're still working on. We've got a boat show this weekend, as all you know, courtesy of Bob Thorpe's idea and Ken Hill's consistency or insistency on executing this thing correctly. Now, it isn't done yet, so we can't praise him too much. We got to wait till it gets done before.
Well, the weather's supposed to be nice anyway.
Yeah, it's supposed to be nice, and it should be. Hopefully, it'll be at the first of an ongoing thing. The Y Marina, and then I can never remember the RV.
Country Roads Recreation.
Thank you. Country Roads Recreation are really getting on board and are excited already talking about next year. So
Great.
it should be one of those events that will carry on throughout. Financially, we've already paid for it, so that's always good. Before we open the door, it's already been paid for, and we're up a couple $100 on top of it. So,
For the first year, that's outstanding.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
so
I think we got a couple of high tides midday too, don't we, this weekend?
Midday, yeah.
Yeah, so that should be real perfect. Get high slack in the middle of the day.
we've opened up the hiker biker camping. We'll be having a grand opening of that as soon as we can, probably in a few weeks. We've contacted the folks that from the community that brought the idea to us, and so we're trying to work around their schedule so that they can be here to do a grand opening of it. We did a soft opening and had a few campers in there already, so we'd like to at least give these folks some notoriety for their ideas and how it turned out. So that should be in a few weeks. We're shooting for somewhere around like the 28th of June, so we'll see if that really happens or not. One of them doesn't work or live here anymore than in Eugene, so we got to play with the schedule there. We've got our mudroom virtually done so that can come and go from the trailer without tracking stuff through. We have moved Carrie Martin out of the office and into the campgrounds, and she is now our landscape person. She's
Looks good.
yeah, she's
place.
still getting her feet wet on trying to figure out how to do all of this stuff on her own, because what we've done is we've taken that duty away from the other maintenance people. So they still do some until she can figure out a pattern and how that works. And we've got her experimenting on some things. We did some research with Richard, our research person that we hired to do some things. We were told that everybody believed that you couldn't get rid of sand burr or sand mat. So I asked him to go to Oregon State University, give them a buzz and find out. And within a couple weeks, we have a product that we're now testing in the back that they claim will, while being friendly to the environment, to estuaries and everything else, will eradicate that particular plant. If that's the case, then we'll spread it through the entire campgrounds, because it's really nasty for pets and kids that are barefoot and that sort of thing. So doing that sort of thing. Our research in the areas of properties and that sort of thing is coming along very well. We've had a couple meetings with the city. So most of the long-term projects are coming along. The barge from HDB, which is shutting down, is now officially out of business. They're coming here Friday to see if we can moor their barge for them while they try to get rid of some of this equipment. They have to have some of their equipment too off of the property for Don Wilbur's property there. So we're working with them a little bit to try to get some stuff to help them to move from the property and then liquidate their stuff. So we've spent some time with that.
So the barge then will be down here over the 4th of July potentially?
Yeah, we just need to figure out how to use it, because while they were out of town, when they came back, they found that the spuds had been removed off of the barge without permission and are gone.
Oh,
So basically, all it is a very giant platform.
yes.
Yeah, they've had their problems, and it hasn't ceased yet. So
I'd like to see the guy that took those out of the barge and put them on the back of his pickup.
I'd like to see the pickup.
So those are like I-beams, aren't they, big guy?
Oh, huge things, and they had to be lifted out with a crane. So they used the crane that was there on the property. I mean, it was, could not have been a good situation. So it moves on. We have a couple little minor things, hangars and things that we're waiting to finish up the wharf. The crew's basically gone until those hangars come in. They can reposition hangars and they'll be gone. So we're just waiting till the
99% finished up?
Oh yeah, 99.9 type of thing. So it just
Looks good too.
it looks nice under there, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So we have a few little maintenance issues to clean up with the contractor, clean up that sort of thing. But for the most part, everything is looking good.
How are we on the budget?
Oh,
15,000 under budget.
And we've got the last change order, so.
Right, we got the last invoice submitted from the construction. There's still a few miscellaneous invoices to come in from the engineer, but the bulk of it's done.
Good
So-
job.
Good
That's
job.
So,
Infinitely better than the last one we
Good
had.
job,
Yeah.
Bob. I know that you and your staff.
Staying on it.
it's, it's definitely a coordinated effort. And, her hair was a lot longer when we started.
Well, does that include the cost for the, taking out the
Everything.
pilings and everything that
Everything,
we didn't know about up front? that
right,
were
all of it.
courtesy of our
Yep,
regulatory agencies?
Yep. everything.
Great.
How were the merchants of Old Town? Were they happy?
There was
No
there
problems?
There was never a problem with any of it, and we never missed a day at the restaurants of being shut down. So, even though they wanted to, at one point they wanted to shut them down for 10 days, and we wouldn't let them in. So, but the Legacy figured out a way to make that happen, and it may have cost us some more in that budget. I'm sure it did, but the point is that we told the restaurants they wouldn't be shut down. And they've experienced some things like doors sticking and windows that are not right. We've got some issues with windows that have got some pits from welding or grinding or something. And so it's all stuff that is easily taken care of. We have in our budget for replacing most of those windows this year anyway from failure of the seams and stuff. So we'll work through that. But all in all, other than fighting with some engineering concepts that put a beam right under a grease trap that you can't maintain and stuff like that.
Little things.
Little minor things like that. Yeah.
What's your thinking when Legacy asks for a reference?
I have really good dealings with Legacy. I have some interpretations and considerations with P&D that we need to talk about because a lot of the problems that Legacy ran into was not Legacy's issue, it was a design issue. And so we need to get some clarification and a more of a managerial statement from P&D before I would recommend them to anybody. Not out of the question, we just need to hear their rationale for some of the things that they did.
That's pretty.
Yeah. Politically, we're involved with a few folks now. I received calls this week from Representative Count McCowan and then Arnie Roblin, dealing with these folks on working with a South Coast Port Caucus. And these folks are the ports south of us that are working on creating and getting monies other than from the federal government, or if they do, it's in different fashions, different pots of money, getting that money together and then sharing purchased portable dredges and things like that for Port Orford and some of these folks that
Well, that's good.
Port Orford's really got a problem.
Oh, they do. I mean, they're short of a bucket brigade right now,
Yeah.
trying to keep water in that place to have their boats. And so we'll be. I hadn't been able to make this week's meetings because we just heard about this caucus through these our political side, and so we've had some conversations with that caucus, and we'll be. I sent them a letter of support, and then we'll start working with them and see what it is that we can be of help with them and how they plan to share this equipment. And they believe they have their hands on about $4 million that they can share between the 6 or 7 ports for different rationales. But we'll set up. I'll look and see how they're structured before we make a full-fledged commitment. But the political contacts are asking us very nicely to play with them and see if we can't work something with them. So new stuff, new message, and we'll get down there and see if there's something we can help out with that type of thing. I think it's a great idea, only to the tune. The only problem I had with it, and I voiced it to everybody, and so I'm good with telling you, is that the minute I see the state and the ports using money from somewhere else to take care of their problems, you tend to lose you allow the federal government to say, oh, okay, they're taking care of their problems, we don't have to think about it anymore.
Oh.
And so I think we have to find a way to do what this caucus would like to do. It's absolutely necessary, but how do we do that and still hold the federal government feet to the fire to support us? So it'll be interesting. It'll be a new program.
Looks like this last week too, we've had a little movement on WRDA and the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund both. They're
Yep.
shoving some money around, look like they're gonna free some of it up a little bit maybe.
Hopefully they're paying attention, because the infrastructure in the United States, as far as the ports are concerned, is crumbling. I don't know how you can do commerce. I don't know how you can do security, allowing us to continue down this same path.
But,
Fazio and Wyden have both been doing
Yeah, but I think they've
work
done
for
really
us.
good.
but the port lack of infrastructure maintenance pales to our highway transportation.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, pales.
Yeah. So add them both together.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking maybe $1 trillion.
Yeah. 62 billion just in the port fund, trust fund.
Yeah.
Well, then the number came up
Or not
yesterday.
the trust
We
fund, but
spent
the
500 billion so far in Afghanistan, just
Yeah.
to throw a number out there.
So it's
Isn't that
a
something?
bit to,
Unbelievable.
yeah, a whole lot of decimal. So yeah, it's so we're getting notice, getting involved with these folks, and we'll keep you updated on how that caucus goes. And I'm going to, in August, 2 days to the caucus economic summit in Lincoln City. So we'll see how that
Can't
works
go
out as
away
well.
from home, boy.
Yeah, no, I have to get a passport if you're going north of Newport.
Well, at least you can go to Arizona now.
That's right.
Okay, well, thank you for your positive report on everything. Is there
Do
any
you have
other?
anything on Bob?
This
Big
completed
list.
projects list. I'm gonna make about 300 copies of this. And I'm gonna hand them out to people, say, well, what did they do all year long and with this and that, and well, why don't they do this and that? Here's what they've been working on and what they did, and etc. Take it home and study it. And remember what this is, because people don't pay, They don't understand.
well, they haven't paid
No
attention
knowledge, no.
to what you do.
And they'll look at a little spot up here and forget about the big pool down here. That things have been accomplished, and
Yeah.
we've seen such a change in the accomplishment. And Bob, I gotta give full credit, because
Yeah.
bringing you on was the
You bet.
right move at that time.
I appreciate it, but it takes 9 people to do
Well,
all
that's
that.
right, you have a staff, but
And I
You're
tend
the
not
one
to
we
do a
work
whole
with.
lot.
This is a great document.
All you have to do is
just for the new commissioner. It's a great document.
It is.
See where we are, where we're going, what's up next, and et cetera. It's a very quick study thing.
Maybe a good way to get that out is Bob comes up with once a month, coffee at the port. You talk about projects to the media and the people here, and get the word out that what's actually going on.
If we don't toot our own horn, no one else is going to do it for us, right? So we need to make sure that the media knows that we are successful in what we're doing.
We haven't bought a horn yet. We can only afford to rent it.
but renting's okay.
Okay.
A lease purchase, lease purchase.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea.
Well, let's end it on a happy note then. Any other discussion?
I'd like to publicly thank Susie for the work she did on the strategic business plan. I've done many in my life. I told her personally, so I don't mind telling you. I would dare the state to find who wanted us to spend $40,000 on preparing one. Of course, we haven't got our bill yet, so I better be.
37.
Yeah, 37. That is
The state may not accept it. Does she have to stand?
Yeah, really. But
We all agree.
I told the
We've all
state.
give her a round of
applause. Yeah, definitely.
I told the state I would dare them to turn in one that is well done and hit the point without being in a 3-ring binder with glossy paper that's not recyclable. So thank you, Susie, again. It's one of the best
Yeah.
ones I've seen in my career.
She does a great job of making us look good.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
That's right. That's why I don't have to do much. It's people like her.
Very good.
Okay, having said that, meeting's adjourned at 7:35.
Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen.
I can go and take a nap.